and we are going to head to Duval County and check on my boy Trevor Lawrence. Trevor! Clever Trevor. You good, my guy? They ain't got a card out for you, man. You have to walk the whole way, man. That probably been the longest work ever. Okay, you talk about the Israelites in the desert walking for 40 years. That made it felt like 40 years. I mean, come on. Can you get your franchise quarterback a cart? You got a swimming pool in the stadium? Okay, woohoo! We in a swimming pool, Duval County. Let's ride. But no ride for my guy Trevor. Nah, something don't feel right. But anyway, Trevor Lawrence suffers a high ankle sprain in the overtime loss to the Bengals. And I do want to follow that up with a question. So we could talk about Trevor Lawrence, and then we can answer this question. Does the NFL have a quarterback problem? Because once again, the mic is yours.
Okay, you want me to answer to the NFL had a quarterback problem?
Yep, and we could talk about Trevor Lawrence in the process.
Okay. Do the NFL have a quarterback problem? No, NFL don't got no quarterback problem.
I'm talking about wait, let me be clear here and specific.
Okay.
When you talk about injuries,
right?
Do we have a quarterback problem in the NFL?
No, we don't. This is the history of the NFL. Quarterbacks get injured. Multiple seasons, multiple times. This is what happens. And it happened more so yesteryear. Okay. This might be new to the 1999 crews, but this is what football is about. It's about endurance. It's about being great, about being durable. Okay. And then skilled and then hard. Right. So if you're not durable, all right, then guess what? You're on the sideline. And if he got a high ankle sprain, he can't play. I'm sorry. Patrick Mahomes had a high ankle sprain last year versus Jacksonville. Came back in the second half, finished the game, won the game, wound up winning a championship. He showed that he was durable through and paid through the injury. That's what NFL players get paid for, to be tough, to be rugged, put their bodies in harm's way, injury, play again anyway, push and push and push. That's what the fans want. That's what the owners want. That's what the millions are for. Okay? You put your body in harm's way. No, they don't have a problem. We still got quarterbacks that stand upright. We still got great quarterbacks playing great football. This is the history of the NFL. I can name countless of Hall of Famers. I got knocked out of playoff games from Joe Montana to John Elways, Phil Simms. This happens. This has happened. We had Carson Wentz with the Eagles a couple of years ago when he looked like he was about to win the MVP of the league. He got hurt. Nick Foles got to come in. This is it. This is football. So, no, they don't have a quarterback situation with football. You want to change the rules to flag football for the quarterbacks? Then you can't touch the quarterbacks? No. They still grown men. They still get paid millions. We got to knock them on the ground. We don't protect them as much as we can. You can't hit them high in the head. You can't hit them below the knee. You can't land on them. You can't slam them. What do you want from these people? Okay? We got to tackle these grown men who get paid millions of dollars. We got to pin them on the ground. This is what we want to see. This is what the fans want to see. I want to see a sack. I don't want to see somebody grab the flag out of the quarterback and say he got him. No. Hit him on the ground. Feel some pain. So, no. This is entertainment, right? And it's according to what fan base you want to talk to. But this is entertainment. If your quarterback is out, you might say you got a quarterback problem. No, they need to protect the quarterbacks. If your quarterback is upright, you let's play football. My quarterback's ready to go. So kudos to a Patrick Mahomes type characters or Tom Brady or Phillip Rivers. These are other quarterbacks that play with injuries throughout the playoff run. Peyton Manning did it. Eli Manning did it. These are quarterbacks who got injured during the playoff run and still win. Okay? So, no, it ain't no quarterback problem. Trevor Lawrence, if you can hop to the sideline, get some ice on that thing, wrap that thing up tight, get back in the huddle, and throw that thing. Patrick Mahomes was throwing the football of one leg last year. Are you kidding me? This is what we made this man to do. So it's not a quarterback problem. It's the NFL. Injuries will occur at all positions. Okay? The NFL is no excuses. Your quarterback, sir, nobody cares. Win games. Okay? Yo, the offensive line, nobody cares. My running back, nobody cares. Win games. That's it. We got a 53-man roster. You have a backup quarterback for a reason. Do you know the play? Get him in there. Let's go. So, no, the NFL is right where they want to be, an entertaining product, and part of that entertaining product, people get hurt, and we enjoy it.
All right, man. I'm gonna try to break this down as smooth as possible, right? It's a bumpy ride. The Mayflower got here to the States in a bumpy ride. It wasn't easy, but speaking of the Mayflower, we're not in the month of May, we're in the month of December. I don't know why I needed to bring that up for, and why is that relevant here? I guess it's to buy me time to process everything that my cousin just said, right? Um, Look, I think the football game and even basketball, right? You know, it's always been a survival of the fittest game, right? It always has been. You got to be healthy and you got to be available, and that's how you win games. But I think this year is definitely on that type of timing even more distinctively, because sometimes when you have debates, right? For example, I'm trying to think of an example. Let's go to the NBA and talk about trying to think what was the example that a lot of people bring up. You go argue the Warriors a couple years ago and how guys got injured, John Moran and all that, but we don't really go ham on that because it's like, all right, we forget about it because it's not distinctive. It's like one or two guys maybe on your route to get there. All right, fine, we may bring it up, but it's like, all right, whatever. They were a better team, they won. But when you have a lot of guys going down, at an alarming rate where it's distinctive if you were to
It
win a
happened.
championship.
It happened in the NBA during the bubble. Remember that when players was going down left and right.
Is that, in matter of fact, the Lakers get the most disrespect out of anybody that won a chip to me, recent, because of that. Because guys, they even say they're not mentally there. We see Lou Williams.
Right.
Oh, our guys didn't want to play. We blew a 3-1 lead because we wanted to go home. Okay. We blew a 3-1 lead. We didn't want to win because we was ready to go home. Okay. So why did you win 3 games?
Yeah, right.
But it's funny because that's a great example. The Lakers don't get enough credit for that because everybody around them either wanted to go home or checked out or whatever. It is what it is. A lot of civil unrest at that time still is, but that's another topic for another day. And my point being is that when you look at the quarterbacks right now that is starting, we're going to start off with Joshua Dobbs for the Vikings, replacing Kirk Cousins, who had his best season of his career, arguably. Last year, too. Joe Flacco, the Browns, Joe Flacco and the Browns. I thought he played for the Ravens. You know what I'm saying? Joe Flacco and the Browns. Okay. Minshew Mania, okay. Minshew Mania on the Colts, right? Jake Browning. Okay, I need a little Browning on my chicken. Okay. The Bengals, right? Mitch Trubisky. Mitch, money making Mitch. Okay. Money making Mitch on the Steelers, right? Not that it matters because Kenny Pickett wasn't playing like an elite quarterback anyway. Tim Boyle. Okay, Tim Boyle is in some oil. He's on fire because guess what? He's not even playing next week. Not that it matters, right? CJ Beathard. Okay, CJ Beathard. Okay, I don't got a rhyme for that, right? Your name is just unique. But anyway, perhaps a couple games he's gonna play in light of Trevor Lawrence high ankle sprain and all that. And I just want to stick on Trevor Lawrence before I come back to address what you had to say in the beginning from a broad scale. In regards to Trevor Lawrence, I do think he should play, as a football guy, as a warrior, right? You do want to go out there. If you can play, you can play. Patrick Mahomes, he played, but he had a similar injury. And I think it's going to make, Trevor Lawrence a little bit more stationary because his look worse than Patrick Mahomes. So I think he's going to be stationary. And that's not the version of Jacksonville that I want to see, because I think their best version is when you have the threat, at least the threat of Trevor Lawrence being able to run. So we'll see if that has any impact. If he does not play next week, or this week against the Browns, I believe it's the Browns, I may be wrong, then that opens up the AFC South now, because you got the Texans right there, you got the Colts right there. So now the South is wide open, and that's why sometimes all L's are not the same. Sometimes you take 2 L's in a game, and I think I could define that being Jacksonville. They took 2 L's on Monday Night Football. But I do want to address your point about quarterback play, and this was always the game. Guys get hurt, and there's been situations where Carson Wentz, is in the MVP, conversation, the lead front runner to be exact, and then he goes down, and then Nick Foles, and then goes on this magical run and all of that. And I get it, it happens a lot. Lamar Jackson missed the last couple years in the playoffs. I get it, right? It happens, right? However, what we do fail to mention, right? And even though we saw guys, or you saw guys getting knocked out of playoff games like Joe Montana and John Elway, I wasn't alive for that. I studied it, but I wasn't there to live it. I do remember guys like Tom Brady, never missing a game in 22 years, excluding the 2008 season where he had his torn ACL. Outside of that year, he never missed a game. I remember that. And he played in the transition era, as you would call it. Phillip Rivers, 252 consecutive starts regular season and playoffs. Eli Manning never missed a game due to injury. Eli Manning. Okay, we talking about January. Eli Manning, who played in January.
He was taking hits. I'm just
and
saying.
he was taking hits. Never missed a game, right? I'm glad you agreeing with me. I'm glad we on the same train here, right? Mind you, with all the rule changes that is geared up to protect the quarterback, guys are missing games. Look at the hit on Patrick Mahomes, on Sunday Night Football that they called unnecessary roughness and all that. That was a terrible call, right? That was like, all right, we don't want our guys to get hit. So that goes back to my point. Yes, the NFL does have a quarterback problem because there were guys that was out here playing 200 consecutive games without getting hurt, went their whole entire careers without getting hurt. But now we in the league where everybody's going down. Joe Burrow, how many times Joe Burrow got hurt since he's been drafted? This guy has been an injury-prone quarterback. We call Lamar Jackson injury-prone. He is. And I just hope, knock on wood, that he stays healthy for January, okay? But Joe Burrow is in that conversation, okay? Trevor Lawrence got hurt. I'm not going to come at Trevor Lawrence because it's the first time he got hurt. But you look at all these other guys, Deshaun Watson, okay? Now you're punting a season because you want to be traded. And then you get suspended for it. Yeah. Okay, can you be healthy? Can you be, you had 2 years off. You know what I'm saying? Then you get hurt, right? Okay, Leel, why you being so hard on the guy? A shoulder injury, he played. But come on. You punted 2 years, and now you got a shoulder injury. So now that's 3 years of us missing Deshaun Watson. You get my point? So, yeah, we do have a quarterback problem because guys are not being available. You get paid to play out here. And I understand it's a game. You're going to get hurt, right? I get it. But what happened to my Tom Brady? You know what I'm saying? Guys like Tom Brady. All these other guys, we compare it to the greats. Oh, Lamar Jackson could play in that era. Really? He's getting hurt now. He could play in that era? Can many of these quarterbacks play in that era? If you get hurt in the era where the league is get up to protect your behind, you can't even sniff the quarterback, bro. Flag. Why you sniffing for? You got good perfume? Nah, they can't play in that era. You know what I'm saying? You see where I'm going here? So I think the NFL do have a quarterback problem because if we're gonna be out here watching, Joshua Dobbs and all Jake Brown in the playoffs, then we do have a quarterback problem.
Not how to be fresh. But here's the problem, cousin. The NFL don't have a quarterback problem, right? Now we got to go real wide range and real wide lens. Society have a mentality problem.
I agree with that.
That's NBA, that's NFL, that's like weaker mentality, bro. So I'm not looking at this like they got a quarterback problem. It's mentality, bro. Like, get up and play. It's just that simple. And what do you think? You think Tom Brady didn't get hit? What do you think these quarterbacks wasn't getting hit hard? What do you think that he played 200 and some odd games in a row and didn't get? Eli Manning used to get destroyed. Okay, destroyed. I used to see him get sacked all the time. He just kept getting up. Mentality, bro. It's a mentality. They don't have the same mentality or the same grit or the same fight. It's mentality. So NBA, they got a pit and stiff thing. Yo, play 65 games so you can win MVP. What? Psychotic to me. That don't make no sense. I don't even think you're MVP if I played all 82 and you play 65 games. I'm the MVP off alone. I'm definitely worth more than you right now.
Honestly, I thought Mikal Bridges could have got the MVP. He played 83.
Nah, word. He played 83. Not to be funny. We can't disrespect that. Yo, playing all 82 is part of being great. It's part of having a great mentality. What do you think? They players ain't playing hurt? You think Kobe didn't play hurt? You kidding me? They have broken fingers, still playing. It's part of being great. Look, despite of that, I'm still going to play great and perform well. That's greatness. That's greatness by itself. And I'm glad we touched on this topic because wait till my 99. But at the end of the day, I'll leave some for the 99.
It's funny because I have something coming in 99 from this too. So we'll see.
That's great. So at the end of the day, it's a mentality, bro. Like they just don't have the same mentality of yesteryear. And do you ask, can they play in that era? Not with this mentality, they can't. No way, they can't. It's impossible. They be on the sideline. Some of these people won't get on the field because of the rules changing and how tight the windows were. So they won't even get on the field. And then the ones that would get on the field, they're fragile. Go home.
Yeah. As I'm choking up here, I don't know why I'm, choking up here. I guess I'm feeling the take right there. But look, Cuzzo, as you put it about the mentality thing, it's gonna come back up. It's gonna come back up eventually. I would say this. I remember last week we had a debate. Me, you, and my guy Zay. Our guy Zay, who co-hosts the show, who's out there in Las Vegas, man. If they got any, good soul food spots, man, bring me a bucket of fried chicken if you can. I cash app you with all due respect. You know what I'm saying? NFL has an officiating problem. Clearly, they do. I think that's a bigger problem if you ask me than quarterback. But quarterback to me is a little bit, right there in the same vicinity. But I would say this, as much as we talk about the mentality, it's funny because me, you, and Zay had a debate last week talking about a similar topic, even though it was different. It was about the NFL and the mediocre, NFL that is today, Tom Brady's comments and all that. But you said that we don't have a lot of guys that are winning Super Bowls with backup quarterbacks. I remember you brought up that, thing when Zay brought up the defense and how the defenses are winning games this year. You was like, well, hold up. Okay, but what defense out here winning Super Bowls with a backup quarterback? So would you want to address that, Cuzzo, before?
Yeah. Well, listen, I will address it like this, right? I'm gonna go back to 1990. The New York Giants. I'm not a Giants fan. They was 10-1. Phil Simms gets hurt. Jeff Hostetler have to come in. They win the Super Bowl. They didn't skip a beat. Do you understand what I'm saying? Frank Wright was on the Buffalo Bills 1992. They down 35-3. 35-3. They come back and win this game with Frank Wright as a backup quarterback. They win the very next playoff game with Frank Wright as the backup quarterback. Tom Brady, was on one of his playoff runs. And this dude, I think it was his first Super Bowl run, where he missed a playoff game. And what was it? Drew Bledsoe had to play a game. Bledsoe played a game. Backup quarterbacks was very valuable in yesteryear's NFL. The defenses always was holding stuff down. Are you kidding me? Always. There is not a defense this year that can win a Super Bowl with some backup shrub quarterback or without outstanding quarterback play. Because even when the Eagles won with their backup quarterback just 5 years ago, Nick Foles was on a run with outstanding quarterback play. And nobody can debate that. The numbers say so.
I will say this, though.
Huh?
Real quickly, I will say this, though, about just the two examples. Maybe you have some more ammo for me, right? Clearly, you've been alive longer than me.
Some.
But
I got more.
When you had the two examples right there, I just want to address that. Drew Bledsoe was a starting quarterback before Tom Brady, so he had experience. That was the guy. That was a franchise guy. He got hurt. Tom Brady came in, so even though he got hurt in the playoff game, he had to come in. No problem. Nick Foles, he already was a starting quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Nick Foles, he was already a starting quarterback before he came in for Carson Wentz. So the experience, the team, So it's not like it's backup guys with no experience.
So let me finish out the point. Even though you didn't want to address the Jeff Hostetler, but I got another one for you. Trent Dilfer, who won the Super Bowl with the Baltimore Ravens in 2000, he was not the starting quarterback, and he's not a good quarterback, but he wasn't the starting quarterback. Tony Smith actually was the starting quarterback for that Super Bowl run Baltimore team. He got hurt throughout the regular season. Trent Dilfer finished that season out, played like the last 7 games. They go on to win the Super Bowl. Nobody's talking about Trent Dilfer. Trent Dilfer's not the reason why they won the Super Bowl. Tony Smith was the reason why they was winning the Super Bowl. It had all to do with Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, T. Sizzle, defense. Okay? There's no defense out here right now. Who's got the number one defense right now? Who? Because whoever it is, they're going to have outstanding quarterback play to win the Super Bowl. And I mean outstanding quarterback play. Okay? So I don't care what the quarterback name is. The quarterback numbers will be outstanding. And if the quarterback numbers is outstanding, then you're winning because you're quarterback, not because of defense.
And that goes back in line with my point, because there's no dominant defense right now. Like, yes, defenses are dominating in winning games, but they're not dominant. No, like on a basis of consistency. So, for example, I would see a team that has a bad defense, like, for example, the Dolphins. But then I see a game where that defense wins the game, even though they haven't had a dominant defense, right? They make a play or two and they win the game. And I've seen that a lot. Even with defenses, we're like, hold up, like, you're supposed to be able to get yards on them and dominate them, but they finding ways to win. Like the Broncos gave up 73, and now, it's like they one of the best defenses in the league all of a sudden. Like, how you give up 73 and you one of the best? But that goes back to my point about the league having a quarterback problem, because if no backup quarterback could win because of, a defense like the Ravens in the 2000s or the Buccaneers like in the 2000s, that means it's going to come back to the quarterback who's elite, that's healthy, with at least a serviceable team. Right. And right now, all signs unfortunately point to the Chiefs being like that. Like honestly, speaking here.
Be fair. Hold on a second, man. He's not hurt right now, man. Baltimore Ravens to me got the inside track. Okay,
I mean,
Lamar
they
Jackson.
should. You heard my take for 99. You heard my take for 99, the last episode.
Like,
they should.
Why he don't have the inside track right now? No disrespect to Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, but right now the inside track in the AFC should be Lamar Jackson. They defense is legit. He's playing legit. Their offense is sustainable. Like that to me, with possibly going through Baltimore, that's the inside track to get to the Super Bowl will be the Baltimore Ravens.
I mean, look, you heard my take for 99. There's no reason why they shouldn't. However, I guess it just comes down to me, like, just knocking on wood that Lamar Jackson is healthy. You know, they lost Mark Andrews. I don't think that should have a major impact. Yeah, it's going to have an effect, but it shouldn't be you're not going to win the Super Bowl. Like, you should be able to overcome that. You still got wide receivers. But, you know, I just see, like, a lot of things happening around the Chiefs, and it's not happening to them. Like, think about it. Last year, this guy was hopping on one leg, Mahomes, and he won. Like, is he going to have an injury similar or worse? Like, nah, I doubt it, right? The only thing I'm worried about with the Chiefs is Mr. Pfizer, a.k.a. Travis Kelce, because my guy, I don't know where this guy is. He don't look like he in the game to me. And I don't know if it's that Taylor Swift thing or whatever it is. Well, you know, I don't know what it is.
It's a combination, right? I believe Kelce is more like this right now. I don't know if he can dial it up game in and game out like he once upon a time. He's past 35 years old. I don't think he can dial it, or he's at 34, 35 years old. I don't think he can dial it up game in, game out. I think he can do a playoff run, but I don't think he can dial it up game in, game out no more. I just don't think he can do it. He's past his prime. We have to admit to that.
I mean, I think it's a mixture. I'm reading Zay comment right now. I think it's a mixture because you know, Kenny Pickett is a pocket passer. I believe he got hurt from the pocket. Trevor Lawrence, I believe, got hurt in the pocket. Joe Burrow got hurt in the pocket, but I believe Deshaun Watson got hurt outside of the pocket. So I guess it depends on, you know, the situation. Either way, you know, it's a far cry from those guys that I mentioned earlier, like Tom Brady, Phillip Rivers, who rarely ever missed games. Eli Manning, Peyton Manning, you know, those guys was always there, and they wasn't mobile, you know. No. So, you know,
Eli was getting hit, my dude. And playoff, no Super Bowl playoff runs. This man was getting laid out. He just got up and threw a pass. I'm sorry.
One more question before we go to halftime here as we wrap it up. You know, clearly we mentioned some outliers. You know, we talking about Blake Bortles, who made an AFC Championship game, right? We talking about Casey Keenum, who made an NFC Championship game. We talking about Nick Foles, who won the Super Bowl. Which backup quarterback right now has the best opportunity and path to be that guy this year?
Man, that's a tough question right there. Man, who would I think to have the answer? It would be the quarterback with the best team around them. What's the backup for Cincinnati again?
Jake Browning.
That's who I will pick, just based off Cincinnati itself.
Yeah,
receivers, team around them. I'll pick him.
Me too. I agree. He had 300 plus yards on Monday Night Football. Jamar Chase is still there. He's still that dude. He's still open. He had a great game. You know, Mixon is still that physical guy that can get you grinded out yards, right? They still have a championship level, you know, defense and coordinator, right? So, yeah, I agree. But you see how you have to think about that?
Yeah, I had to
have a quarterback problem. There you go. We got a quarterback problem. We have to think about that. You know what I'm saying? That's why they call me Lotion Doms.
Please like and subscribe for all the up-to-date content. You've been slinging shows left and right, slinging content left and right. Please don't miss anything. If you do, like, subscribe, leave a comment, leave a question, something you may want to answer, something you may have. All ideas are great ideas. Nothing's a dumb question.